had to jump on live again today, guys. I am, like I said in my post, obsessed with this new fun technique, and I wanted to show off a couple other rocks I've done, and I'm going to do another one live today. This is the one that we made the other day on the live, but I've been going nuts ever since. So I've done a few with the dangles, just simple dangles, just practicing. And then I also did a fun radial style heart. And I'm going to do something similar to this today, but since I know a lot of you are waiting on your glitter pens, you don't have them yet. I have seen quite a few shipped, but since you don't maybe have them yet, we're going to use our standard colors today of Posca pens. So I'm using the extra fine tip or the 1M style pens. And I'm going to do black and then come back with color and do black, and I'm going to kind of work out that way. Most of these I sit and doodle all the black first and then add color, but since I'm live and you might not be able to stick around for the entire time, I'm going to kind of work in layers. So I'm going to do some in black, add the color, and then move out and do some in black, add the color. I'm going to do my best to stay on frame here. I've got to pull you guys up on my computer so it's easier for me to glance up and make sure that I'm not going completely out of frame since there is a lot of detail to this work. I want to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. So I've already just done kind of a basic heart in the center of this one, and I'm sorry, I already bumped my tripod. I just started with a basic heart here, and we're just going to create lots of little areas for dots and little squares and things like that. So I'm going to come in here with my light blue pen and just fill in, you know, this little square. And you don't have to be too worried because I always go back in with my black and redefine the edges. So you're just going to do these tiny spaces, and you can leave exposed rock from time to time as well. I think that looks really neat. So we're going to add a blue dot there, and then I think I'm going to do purple on the outside of this, and then we'll really get going with our black and add some fun detail. So I hope everybody's having a great day. And like I mentioned before, if you were one of those people that ordered the glitter ones to match, you know, these rocks that we were doing on here, a lot of them have shipped, so you should be getting them soon. So the way that I like to go about this is I do just little sections at a time and just let it flow. Just let it, you know, whatever just kind of comes to your mind. I started doing the downward kind of dangles on a lot of the rocks, so we're going to start with something like that right off the bottom here. And maybe you can have it come out and loop to the side and then loop down and maybe loop to the other side. Just whatever you want. There are no rules to this whatsoever, okay? Good morning, Cindy. Thanks for joining in. So we're just going to add a few things on each side. So, I mean, you can add a large section over here. And I'm going to do my best. I'm holding this kind of far away from my face because that way you guys can see what I'm doing. Like so. We can add some fun little points to this here. Let's do that. I'm just going to go all the way along this edge. And this rock will take a while, so we'll get as much of it done as we can here. But like I said, if you want to save this video, you can come back and watch it in pieces, or if you can't stick around for the whole thing, you can share it to your wall and watch it later, or just save it and watch it later. So we'll go about to there. And we're going to even add a little dot. Now the thing is with these pens, since they overlap just fine, see, like this is a full circle here. So if you're not very good at making, you know, an O shape, if it fills in a little bit on you, it's okay, because these pens, once this black is dry, you can go right on top of it with the color and it's going to fill in that dot. So you'll be just fine. I mean, I did practice a few little doodles on a piece of paper before I got going. And if you were on the live that I did, I ordered a book on dangles on Amazon. I linked to it in that post. It's out for delivery, so I should be getting it today, and I'll be even more inspired. I just really like this way of doing rocks. It's a lot of fun. Now this is a really large area that's going to be a solid color, and I kind of like to break those up a little bit, and I also like to leave some exposed rock. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go through and add a couple lines this way in here. And we're going to leave some of the rock showing in between there. So I like that start here. Let's see here. So like I said, it's just doodling. So where are we going to move next? Let's do this one. Let's get some stuff hanging out a little bit further away. Like that, maybe there. Maybe we'll do another one like that on this side here. Okay. And look, you can even, if you want to have something dangling that's, you've gone vertical, but you want to dangle something, you can connect these just like this, and watch, you can just dangle a little heart right in there like that. Now the key to coloring in these hearts once they're dry, just work, don't try to get all heart shaped in there. Start with a V shape, and then you can kind of touch the paint up into those heart spots, okay? So you can go back in with your black when you're done too and add. So we need to do something on this side. So let's do something different over here. How about we do some curls off of this side? We'll go maybe some curls like this that end in a dot in the middle. And you guys, I'm just making this up as I go. This is not a template to necessarily copy. Excuse me. It's just to help spark your creativity. Anything goes with this. Just pick up your rock, and it will kind of, the shape of the rock might dictate what you want to do. I'll do one more here because we've cut this one. But there's no right or wrong way to do these at all. I feel like I need something off of these, but I don't know yet. So it hasn't spoken to me. So let's go in and add a little bit of color. Okay, so I'm going to do some pink in here. We don't have any pink yet. And I have kind of just picked a handful of colors here. So we're going to go, I think I want to alternate the dots. I think I'm going to do pink and yellow dots. So I'm going to start there because that's the one I know I want. And see how you can go right on top of that black and make a dot. Well, I just said alternate and I didn't do it. So let's do 3 pink, 3 yellow. Look at that, that's going to work out just fine. 3 pink, and then we'll do 3 yellow. How about that? That worked out just great, didn't it? And then let's do pink here, and we'll do pink here. Let's see, and I want this little heart that's floating up here to be pink. And like I said, you just kind of work the V shape, and it turns into a heart pretty easy on you. Don't worry about trying to get that really arch shape in there. I mean, it's tiny. It's not going to be huge, so it works just fine. Let's put that one down. And we can add this little dot here. Like so. I think I like purple for these triangles. And these fine tips are actually the glitter ones. These are extra fine, excuse me. These extra fine tips work really well for this. The glitter ones are fine tip, and I was able to get quite a bit of detail out of those, but I did have to do a lot more touching up with my black pen after. This actually works really, really well to have this, your extra fine tip to do these. Pardon my sniffles, guys. So let's go in and do some yellow on these. Oh, yellow, hold on. I guess I haven't used my yellow in a while. I gotta shake this one up a little bit more. There we go. So I just shook it up really good. If you haven't used a color in a while, just shake it up really, really well and kind of give it a little tap on your paper. Oh, I'm off. Just make sure it's flowing again. If your pen ever seems thin, it just means you need to give it a little bit more of a shake. See, that's what we want, that nice bright pop of yellow. Good morning in Nebraska. Oh, cold day in Nebraska. Yeah, well, it's a good day for staying inside and painting some rocks then, right? If it's cold, maybe that's what you should do with your day. There we go. Let's see here. Let's add a little, I really like how bright this yellow is, so we're going to add that in this stripe here as well. And if you're not sure, like if you don't know what color you want to use in an area, leave it blank for now or leave it open. I like some exposed rock, like I'm going to leave this exposed. So if you're not sure which way your color palette, I guess you could say, is moving, then you can leave things open and blank as well. I need to add some more of my blues in here. So that's what I'm going to do over here. I'm going to do some of the light blues and the dark blues. Like that. Laura, you asked how I got the Posca red to be so red. I shake it really, really well. And I did not do 2 layers on this. I just worked into it really well. So it was a thick layer, I guess you could say, but it's only dried once. So I have heard a few people say that they are not completely in love with the red. I did use my extra fine tip as well, just because I wanted to only use 1 pack of pens for this video. I don't like to, I'm trying not to do, you know, medium, extra fine and fine all in the same video, because you know you may not have all those, and if you need to grab a set of pens, you're not going to buy necessarily 10 different sets of pens to try to be able to do something. The link is in above, Joanne. I have a link to this size of pen. These are the Poscas. They say 1M on them, and they're considered extra fine when people are talking about them. And there's a set of 21 that I have linked to above. You get a few metallics, you get some pastels, and you get your basic colors as well. So you kind of get a little bit of everything if you order from the set that I have linked to above. We're just going to start adding in some fun. Our next little layer here. I do circles. The thing is, I mean, we are working with rocks. I did not do anything to try to smooth or flatten these. Just use as light of a touch as possible with this. You can always add more ink, but since you don't have that background white or black to kind of fall back on, you can't go in and cover up as easily. So just take your time. You can make things work. If you mess up, just make it part of your rock. Do something like that over here. Not really excited about how this actually started over here, so we're going to do something with that. I just don't know yet what. So we're going to come back to that. I want to add another curl, big one here. I'm going to go from this one, maybe come back this way and make a big curl. And maybe we'll even have this one go down over here like that, and then we can have a couple dangles coming off of that if we want to later. And let's see, we'll have this one just go this way. We'll go back and forth a couple times this way, and I apologize if I'm missing a few of your comments, because obviously I'm looking right down. Nancy, I love that comment. She said Bob Ross would be proud. He's one of my favorite people. I love Bob Ross videos. I watch them on Netflix with my kids. And I love his style of painting and how there's no accidents and everything is how it should be. So if you put something somewhere and you don't think it should be there, it does. It belongs. So you can just make it work. So we're just going to color in some of this black that we have, and I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep going back and forth between drawing outlines and coloring them in. And that's, you know, basically the process of doing these rocks is you just kind of go back and forth and play, and they're really relaxing. And since you're using the pens, you can kind of just pop the cap on and walk away and come back. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. You can work on it, you know, for 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, depending on what your lifestyle is like. Put these in here like this. Okay, let's get some more stuff in here. I need some more solid places. So I think I know what I want to do with this. I've got an idea to add some more fun color to this. So we're going to give this a second layer just to bring it out like that. And do the same thing with this one. There we go. And I'm going to make these kind of radial stripes here. Nope, see, I crossed over, so we're going to actually make it a little thicker base, because that's just what we're going to do. Somebody asked if I've ever sanded a rock. It works good. I have not ever sanded a rock, Lynn. If I want something smoother, I usually just do a base coat on my rocks because it kind of helps smooth it out a little bit. But I have never attempted actually sanding a rock. But I can see how that would, you know, depending on the style of rock, like you said, that could work out a little bit. Bows on the tail like a cut. Oh, that would have been cute. I could probably still add a little bow at the bottom here. I just read that, Teresa. That was a good idea. I mean, that's kind of why I said, you know, if you're not sure what you want to do with a part, just leave it. And once you get done doing a different area, you can come back to it. Maybe something will stand out to you that you want to do. There we go. And what color do I want? Some big, I think I want to do pink. I really like yellow and pink together. Okay. And you guys, I can keep going on and on and on with these. Seriously, until the rock is full. So first, if you're here, you may not stick through all the way to the end on this one, and that's okay, just because it might get a little bit long here. And I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to actually have some things coming off of this one. I feel like something could kind of pop up and over here. Maybe this one has one that's going down. There you go. The biggest thing, yes. Marcia said the biggest thing she's learning is to be light-handed with the pens, and that is definitely true. And I never point straight onto the rock. I try to almost use kind of the edge. I think that helps a lot too, so that you don't end up skipping on the rock, is what she's talking about. When I first got them too, if you're on a bumpy surface and you're going along, sometimes it will almost snag and kind of spit, for lack of better words, out some of the paint off to the side, and that definitely helps. A light touch, unless I'm trying to, even when I'm making a circle, usually I'll still use kind of the side like that, just to dab that circle. So you don't have to have a heavy hand with these at all. If they're not flowing, then you need to either shake them up. You might have, your tip might be dirty since these are water-based. All you have to do is, you could take a damp paper towel to it or a little bit of water to it, and they'll be okay to get the paint flowing again. I don't want red on that. Well, yeah, I can do that. Okay, so let's see here. I want to go, where do I want to go next? Let's do, I still want something else here, something hanging off. So we're going to add one more little thing, and then we'll be done. Well, maybe I don't want to do that. I might just stop. You guys, I'm indecisive. I might go back and do it again. I don't know. Do I not draw a continuous line to Lynn, you can. I'm definitely, I'm not a perfectionist, and I kind of tend to sketch a little bit more when I draw anyways. But even if you go on a continuous line, if you're pushing too hard, you can snag like a bump in the rock, and some of the ink will kind of spit out. And I think that's what she was talking about. So if you just have a light touch and you're going smoothly along, you should be fine. So once you're happy with your rock, you can go back in with your black and smooth out any lines if you feel like your paint leaked over. Since I was using these extra fines instead of the fine glitters, I don't even have that many. I'm looking to see if there's any spots that I really want to add any black to. And right here is a little spot that kind of got away from me. But for the most part, since these were the extra fines, I was really able to get in there better than normal. There we go. This little spot here. So you can kind of touch it up a little bit. And you can always go back in and add more. So I'm going to leave it at that for today, but I just really wanted to come in and show with these pens, because I know a lot of people are waiting on their glitters. And if you joined a little bit late, I'll show you where I was inspired for this one here. I did a big, huge glitter one with my glitter Posca pens, but a lot of people were waiting on those, so I wanted to do one with the standard colors as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Feel free to share it in your local rock painting groups. A lot of people might find this fun and get inspired by it. And definitely follow along with Rock Painting 101 for more live videos. I should be back probably tomorrow because we're getting close to our next week's prompt. So we'll probably do something fun with snowflakes tomorrow. So I hope everybody has a wonderful day. See you soon.